What up, bays? I don't know. We gotta figure out a name to call y'all. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. What up? We back. Another episode of Words with Bay. I'm AI, Alanai, whatever you call me, whatever you like. Here with my my lovely co-host and partner.
Partner in crime or life?
Partner
or
in
both?
life, both. Nah, I can't do no crimes with you. You'll tell.
I would not snitch.
You'll tell. Yeah, you'll tell, bro.
Snitch.
Can't do no crimes with you, bro.
You think I would snitch?
Yeah, you'll tell.
I don't think so. I actually think I'm really loyal. Like I'm like loyal to a fault.
So what if, like, they said something happened and you had to cover me or whatever, and I don't know, I think of a scenario. I think of something that is like kind of off the wall. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would be scared. Like I'm not even gonna front. I would be scared to go to jail for sure.
like what if I had a side chick and she ended up, something happened to her, and you had to see. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. See,
You lost
fellas,
me with the side chick.
no, fam, no.
Why did you have to have a side chick though?
I said something
If
off the
you
wall.
have a side
because
chick, then you're
what
not
really-
loyal to me.
That's what question. No. That's what really puts your. I can't call it integrity because it's not integrity.
Your loyalty.
But that's what put it. Yeah, that's what.
But here's my thing though. If you have a side chick, you're not loyal to me. So why do I need to go to bat for you?
I think it's very possible to be loyal to someone and have a side chick.
How? Unless y'all agreed on that. But if you're doing that behind my back, how is that loyalty?
I mean, you weren't supposed to find out. She only found out because the people came
So
knocking
then
at
you're
the door.
not being loyal though.
I am, but you wouldn't have known otherwise, though.
Oh my god, that logic is so twisted.
Fellas, tap in.
Oh my
Tap in.
gosh.
Can you be loyal to your partner,
Behind your back,
your girlfriend, wife, lady,
if
whatever?
you are sleeping with somebody else behind your partner's back?
I think it's possible. Now, is there integrity in what you're doing? No. But I can definitely be loyal to you, like, and I mean, different people have different meanings for the word loyalty too, so you have to take that into consideration. But I mean, like, dudes be being dudes. We just be wanting some ass.
I mean, but why does she have to be a whole side chick? Like, if you just want some ass, a one night stand, I'm not even gonna say I'm cool with it, but I can better understand that versus having a whole side relationship with somebody.
You know how many one night stands I gotta have if I want some pussy?
First of all, you should be able to get whatever you need sexually from your life partner.
You should. I agree.
So what else are you trying to go out here and get?
Only thing better than good cookie is new cookie. That's it.
I don't agree with that.
That's it. The same way y'all go and get attention. That's another episode. We coming back to this because we getting ready to go. How y'all doing? What's up? It's been what? How long we been? A week? Week and a half? 2 weeks?
No, 2 weeks. We post every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. Yeah, you right.
So.
So we appreciate you all. We are picking up some steam here, and
A little bit of steam.
we're getting some good feedback. So we appreciate you all.
We got like the steam when you put the hot water on the bathroom sink. That level of steam.
Well, in this weather, it take a minute for the water to warm up. Because, hey, tell us your stories of when you got stuck. What happened over the weather? People in Texas, as you know.
Praying for you guys, seriously.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Texas
it's
went down.
really sad what happened.
President Biden just declared a state of emergency.
I was already a state of emergency. It's kind of late.
So it's Saturday right now, for those of you that don't know. So for us, it's Saturday. So the 20th of February is when we're recording.
It makes moments like this make me incredibly grateful for everything that we have, down to what we consider basics like heat and electricity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that on a day-to-day basis we go on in our lives thinking that I could not have electricity, and I don't think we fully grasp how much we depend on electricity. Like
I do.
But is that something that you're always thinking about on a day-to-day basis? Do you wake up thinking, damn, I'm grateful the lights turned on?
Well, I remember in 2006, A really bad storm came through St. Louis and knocked the electricity out for like 4 or 5 days. If anybody was here during that time, you know what I'm talking about. But like, you couldn't get gas, like stoplights wasn't working, grocery stores, like you had to like go, stay with people you knew that had power if they power was coming back on. It was a rough time, like, and that was only like 3-4 days. I think the saving grace, the silver lining in that situation for us at that time, it was summer, so it was hot as hell.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't cold.
It wasn't cold, right?
People's pipes weren't bursting.
Yeah, no pipes were bursting.
Houses being destroyed.
Yeah, if you wanted to take a shower, you could take a little cold shower, and you wouldn't really be phased because you'll get out and it'll be hot. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I couldn't fathom single digit temperatures and some of those videos and stuff that people were posting.
Yeah.
Like houses were burning down. Just I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but. I think that everything, gives us lessons as to what we need to do as individuals, right? Like, we can't depend on the president. We can't depend on our governors. Shout out to Ted Cruz. Well, he's a senator, actually.
Not shout out.
No, shout out to Cruz. We got to shout him out, bro.
And what about that mayor? What was that mayor's name?
I don't even remember the mayor. It was Tim or something like that.
gosh.
He was the mayor of something city, Texas or something. And he basically told y'all, like, on the real, this is how most politicians feel. Like, we just now really getting to the point where the political landscape is starting to gradually, and I'm talking about really, like, this is a gradual. This ain't even like, we on the move. This is like, all right, we got one in. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna talk political rhetoric.
I think you brought up a really good point about the lessons to be learned in these situations. And how we truly are out here for ourselves and our families. And I know something that me and you have talked about with this happening, and really just with COVID in general.
That was going to be my next point, but yeah.
Yeah, making sure that you're setting yourself up and your family up for damn near Armageddon. Like,
absolutely. I've been on that since you met me.
Really? I feel like you really started talking about it recently.
Well, I mean, COVID happened, right? Like, nobody saw COVID coming. But it's easy to talk about that stuff when stuff is good, right? But when you look at movies like The Purge and
I believe movies predict the future.
Will Smith movie, I Am Legend, iRobot. iRobot wasn't really an Armageddon movie, but like when you look at these things, if you have to get by today. If that day was today, if you have to get by, what do you have? What do you have?
Yeah, it's insane.
What do you have? Like, how long is your food supply going to sustain? Water? How long are you going to be able to protect yourself? Your children? Like, you really have to think about these things because, I have a lot of family that's from New Orleans. So I saw these things very early on with Katrina, like, where my family had to basically like run here while the hurricane was going on, prior they got out in time. But then like going back after the fact and just seeing, New Orleans is a very poor city.
Yeah.
As far as the city of New Orleans, similar to St. Louis, right? But the city of New Orleans is really poor, right? You have people that don't have the option to leave or their entire family is there and they can't go anywhere. Like, we here. Whatever happens. We don't got no money. We don't got no car. We can't catch no flight. We can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're there. That's it. So, seeing that type of destruction and watching people that had lost everything and now they're walking around the streets, they have nothing to go back to. They're depending on FEMA and the government to give them water and food day in and day out. Like, we don't think about that. We don't think about that. And it's this episode going to be long because we're talking about a lot, but
that's okay.
We don't think about those things. So when they happen, and when you have instances like this pandemic, COVID, that have come, and we thought 2020
power grids not being able to sustain. And
I've known about the Texas power grid for a long time. I never really tripped off of it until today. But if you ever wondered why Texas has their own power grid, the answer is greed, period. Texas privatized all of their natural resources so that the government could not get in and influence what they did with their natural resources in the event of emergencies like now. That's why Texas has oil rigs and everything else that are all privatized. We are the only place in the world that does this. You go to Saudi Arabia, don't get it twisted, like those mines and stuff are owned by private owners and stuff, but they control their output.
Do you still want to move to Texas?
If they winterize their grid, if they winterize their grid.
I'm supposed to be going to Texas in March. I'm low key rethinking.
Yeah, you're
that
not
trip.
going. Come on, you don't be here with me, dog. You don't be here with me. It's okay. It's okay.
But seriously, though, you guys, start thinking about preparing your family for the worst to come, because I think it could be sooner than we think. Like, no one ever expected
Shit,
COVID.
it's here.
It's true. It's here. But I think sometimes we get so caught up in the day-to-day life and really a false reality of what our world is. And I think we need to kind of get back to what's true and what's possible and really prepare ourselves and our loved ones for the worst to come. So hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Something else, hopefully you are. Something else I think that this time has taught me is helping your neighbor. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean the entire community or trying to go out and save folks, but doing your part for who you can do your part for.
Yeah.
Like, be it family, friends, whatever the case may be. Like, I don't believe in saving everybody. That's not a concept I subscribe to. People are like, oh, well, these celebrities and businesses need to do more. Like, I don't believe in that. But I do believe in helping who you can, period. Yeah. And that's not for us to determine who you can or cannot help. Well, you got $1 billion, you can feed all the poor and da-da. Like, bro, shut up. Because where were you when I was building this $1 billion entity? You were not helping me. So, yeah. I don't believe in that, but I do believe in, what does it say, helping thy neighbor, if you believe in that talk. Mm-hmm.
I think, something that when I used to intern at the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, and one of my mentors when I was working there, she said something that has literally stuck with me ever since that day. Like, it was it really resonated with me. She said that, and it sounds so simple now, but the best thing you can do for your community is to be the best you can be.
You can be. I agree.
And if you think about that, once you have finally gotten yourself to the best that you can be, then the next circle that you work on is the people that are closest to you. Then they need to be the best that they can be. Mm-hmm. And then you go out and you impact everyone else that you can.
Yep.
And so that sounds kind of selfish, but in a way it's not selfish, because if you are constantly trying to do more than you can for others, you're only going to bring yourself back down. MC Hammer. And it's just like the cycle repeats itself, and so no one really advances. Mm-hmm. So, not to say that you should be selfish, but you should definitely prioritize your success and the betterment of yourself and your family. Yep. Before you can, be contributing to $20,000 in charity, and you don't have $20,000 in savings. So
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I think that you should be helping yourself and those. I mean, a perfect example of that is LeBron James. He got on and then he put his friends on and created his friends to be essentially his business team and partners, right? Mm-hmm. And then they were able to go out and create their own opportunities, like, and LeBron James does a lot for the community that we do and don't know about. But just as a specific example of him taking care of those close to him, it's documented that he has done that. So, yeah. Trying to go out and start a community center when your people around you ain't good and you trying to build up, I'm going to build the next carpentry and trade school, and your partners sitting there looking at you like Ali and the Lunatics. Like, hey, bruh, what about us? That was not a dig. I know and love all those guys. And it's unfortunate what they're going through, but just as an example, you gotta do what you gotta do for you.
Yeah. But we should talk about that because there's a couple things that's been happening over the past couple of weeks that I've been wanting to talk about that's specific to kind of Black culture.
Okay.
And that situation in particular, I know you and we've already kind of discussed it in depth, but we don't have to go too deep into it. But I kind of want to talk about like your perspective on, and I wonder if you're probably going to talk about this on commentary, aren't you?
I don't know. What's the question?
About how you feel about what Nelly said in that podcast and
ooh.
If you want to talk about it on commentary, we can save it.
No, I can talk both. I mean, it's a for those of you that know, I am 1/3 of the commentary crew. I don't want to say too much, right? Because like Nelly people, they will call me and be like, "Fam," you know what I'm saying?
Okay, then. So
but no, it's not that. I think that for me, having relationships with those guys, and knowing some of them better than others, I think it's unfortunate first and foremost, right? The St. Louis legacy, like they are those guys, regardless of what you heard about any of them. Nelly in particular. They put St. Louis on the map. And St. Louis is just so deep in musical culture as is, but we don't get that shine. East St. Louis as well, Ike and Tina, Scott Joplin, like we're pretty heavy. Like in some way, shape, or form, a lot of people came through St. Louis. And to really touch on some of the points he made in the podcast, I think we just touched it. Like, I don't know anybody's financial situation, but I can tell you this: regardless of how much money you have, being able to contribute to, and I don't know the story. I don't know the story, but from what was said in this interview, he said he was contributing to the well-being of other grown men, right? And how long can you do that? And not from a standpoint of me being tight with you or you my boy, but
what's realistic?
Mathematically, yeah. How can you do that? You know,
especially if he gets married, has kids, has a wife, a family.
He has kids. He has a girlfriend. He has family. Like, how long can I take care of? Or I don't want to say take care of. That's a poor choice of words. How long can I contribute to the well-being of everybody? Mm-hmm. Right? Like, mom and dad, I got y'all, because I wouldn't be here, right? And y'all at some point had me in y'all house and basement and wherever else, and this took off. Immediate, sis, whatever the case may be. Like, but when you start talking about, I got cousins, uncles, group members, but like, mathematically, that doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. It just doesn't. Yeah. Unless you got like Bill Gates money.
It's the crab in the barrel effect.
I don't necessarily agree with that. And
not to say that like the people who, I don't want to say dependent, but were on the receiving end of that were intentionally bringing him down. But whether that was intentional or not, just that burden and having that money come out of the pocket was kind of like unintentionally or bringing him back down, because he could have and if we want to be honest about the fact that he could have taken that money and invested it and gone further, but because he had to pay it back, it kind of kept him back a little bit. I mean, I don't know,
maybe not.
It's not. I don't know the situation in full detail, so I can't really say. But I think that it's an interesting topic to touch on, because so many times do Black people, and it could also be, white families as well. But I feel like in the Black community in particular, the ones who make it, they have such a burden on them to carry the weight of other people. And that is so stressful. And I feel like that really exists. It's prominent in our community, where somebody makes it, they get somewhere, and then they have to bring everybody else along, and I understand that, and I think that's what we should do. But to what extent should they be doing that?
Yeah. I think, well, something you have to understand as well is that Black people are only like into their second generation of having wealth at this level, because y'all gonna hit in the comments, Black people been having money, man, I'm CJ Walker. No, we're not talking about that, bro. We're talking about on this level, this scale. We're only 2 generations in, right? Like literally, like our parents, baby boomers, who control the most money now. Some of those individuals were millionaires and built up their wealth off real estate and radio, whatever the case may be, music, sports, and now their kids are coming into that, or maybe there were parents that were just middle class that put money into their kids, and their kids are now athletes or CEOs, whatever the case may be, app developers, who knows, right? And now we're in this new wave where technology is taking over, and we have Bitcoin and investing and all these different things, and you have literally kids that are on YouTube making millions of dollars a year, right? Yeah. So we're really only 2 in a possible generations into wealth now, and it's hard to see. I can't say, I'm not speaking to me personally, but it might be hard for some to see that cousin that used to sleep in the bed with the peed in the bed now is, example, LeBron James, right? And it's like, bruh, you used to pee on me. You ain't finna come. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we don't have it. Like, it's just not there for us, you know? And I'll just be blatant. The opportunity is there for white people, most of them. It is. Mm-hmm. And that falls all the way down to education. And I'll get on that a whole nother time. Yeah. But that goes all the way down to education, Or
even something as simple as selling your home and it be appraising for the actual value that it is.
That was whack. Yeah, that was whack.
Like even something as simple as that. That extra $20,000 can actually make a difference in someone's life or someone's pocket or someone's investment. So
yeah.
This is all just the introduction.
we way off. We weren't even supposed to. Y'all gonna get more than 30 minutes today.
You guys are probably wondering why we're sitting here in the daytime.
Yeah, we
usually record at night.
Yeah, we usually record at night.
But we attended a brunch a virtual brunch this morning. That's why I have a drink. And for those of you, the females, the detail-oriented females, like, oh, what's that in her drink? This is freshly squeezed orange juice. And a little bit of liquor. So that's why that's why my cup looks dirty.
A little bit? So, okay.
I mean, it's a decent amount of liquor,
Yeah, it was the rest of the liquor that was
which wasn't a lot.
I don't know. We were supposed to knock that off the other night.
What other night?
When we were with Myron and Karima.
Oh, okay. Shout out to
Myron and Karima.
Yeah. We had a great conversation with them. I'm excited to bring them on. So I'm not going to share
our guest, our first guest. Yeah.
I'm not going to share too many details about it, but we'll get to that in a second. But wait, hold on though, because what I wanted to really talk about with you today, babe, you've been stirring up a lot of commotion on your Facebook as you usually do. Mm-hmm. In regards to, I'm going to let you talk about what it's been in regards to, and help me understand where this all came from, because all I know is I came on Facebook and there was a risque photo of me and you. So how did this all come to be?
So, 2 weeks ago, Russell Wilson stated that one of his biggest fears was losing Sierra. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I read the interview a couple of times because I was just trying to understand where he was coming from, my interpretation of where he was coming from. Mm-hmm. So I read the interview a couple of times. I couldn't really pull it out, right, as far as for me. So I posed the question to everybody. I was like, is it healthy to like fear losing your partner? Like, no hate. I stated that in my post, like no hate, none of that. I shared the article in which he said that. And I was like, is it healthy? Like, is this normal? Like, where do y'all stand on this, right? So to me personally, I don't fear losing my partner, i.e. you.
Mm-hmm. Well, who else would it be?
I mean, I know that, right? But
I just want to make sure
I'm
we're
speaking
clear.
generally.
I know. Ain't no general speak, though. It's very specific.
I
Okay?
don't-
This is words with bae.
Okay, baby.
Not baes.
Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
So I just want to make sure we're clear, you know.
I think that regardless of if we initiate this relationship ending or if God, the universe, whoever you believe in, initiates somebody leaving, it's going to happen one day. Mm-hmm. Whether it's today or 80 years from now or, you know, whatever. It's going to happen. Why should I fear the inevitable, right? And I think people fear what they don't understand or know because we don't. Nobody knows. People would come back, oh, I had this near-death experience and I saw the light. Like, shut up. Like, bro, anyway, I'm not here to dispute that. But I posed the question, and after he said that, so many men, black men, y'all be messing up, man, got to talking about, oh, dude is a simp. Blah, blah, blah. And he's this, and this. I'll never fear losing no broad. And
I know they didn't say broad.
Nah,
either.
they didn't say broad. I'm keeping it real clean here because your mama be listening sometimes. So I'm like, yo, like y'all wildin', bro. Why is dude considered a simp, right? Like that's what you have to unpack. What does simp mean? So number one, simp is not even in Webster's dictionary as far as I know. It's on Urban Dictionary, however, and it's defined as a man that does the most for someone of the opposite sex in hopes of a relationship and or sex.
So then he's not a simp because he already, for one, has a relationship.
He's in a relationship.
He's
married
to that's his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, he's not a simp by that definition. And secondly, what is wrong with being vulnerable?
Nothing.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
No.
And you know what I think? I think that we are in a cultural shift right now. I think that we went from fuck bitches get money to now
your mama gonna whoop you.
Sorry, Mom. We went from that to
I'll say it again.
to now it is marriage. I feel like marriage and relationships has almost become a trend. And not to say that everyone's relationship is false. I do. I do think that marriage and relationships has to some extent become a little bit of a trend. It's now more acceptable to be in a relationship. I think the catalyst to that change was what was that? What's the winter term? It's not Netflix and chill. It's
Cuffing season.
Cuffing season. I think the catalyst to that change may have been cuffing season. When that trend happened.
Nah.
I think it was the catalyst to the change.
Nah.
A little bit.
Nah.
But I think we went from, like I said, Future to now Russell Wilson, and I think not everyone has made that change, but I think it's happening. I actually thought about this the other day. Fabulous's post for years. Did you see that
Emily's
post?
strong as hell, boy. I'm not mad at her. Emily, hey, I'm not here to judge. I don't know the dynamic of their relationship, but Emily, boy, I'm not gonna tell Fab business, but Emily's strong.
She is strong. And actually, I just want to touch on that too, because what I don't want to happen is I don't want it to make it seem like I or Alan is trying to, I actually don't know your stance on this, but I feel like sometimes it feels like black women, in order for us to be loved or be in a relationship, we have to go through so much. What is this phase, please? What is the phase?
I just want a love that doesn't require I'm a handful, but I'm worth it first.
And I want a love that doesn't ask me to hold a man down while he cheats and does whatever he wants to do, and then 10 years later he finally wants to settle down.
I got them racks though.
Now he got cancer, and
Wow,
I
damn.
gotta go to chemo.
Damn. I got cancer.
I gotta go to chemo with him. Then nobody else wanna go to chemo, so now he wanna settle down because he knows I'm gonna be in the appointments with him.
Oh Jesus.
Now he got high blood pressure. He wanna exercise every day.
Well, you on black men today. Boy.
I'm not at all. I love black men. But what I'm saying is that I did not want to make it seem like I'm saying that black women have to go through so much by saying Emily is strong. By all means.
I was just joking. I didn't mean like she was strong physically. I just meant like, boy.
I understand her position. Like, I don't personally have any.
I don't even know her.
I didn't give birth to any children, I'll say that. But I could imagine that as a woman who has children, multiple children by a man, you want more than anything in the world for that situation to work for you and your children. Ask me to hold a man down while he cheats and does whatever he wants to do, and then 10 years later he finally wants to settle down.
I got them racks though.
Now he got cancer, and
wow,
I
damn.
gotta go to chemo.
Damn. I got cancer.
I gotta go to chemo with him. Then nobody else wanna go to chemo, so now he wanna settle down because he knows I'm gonna be in the appointments with him.
Oh Jesus.
Now he got high blood pressure. He wanna exercise every day.
Well, you on black men today. Boy.
I'm not at all. I love black men. But what I'm saying is that I did not want to make it seem like I'm saying that black women have to go through so much by saying Emily is strong. By all means.
I was just joking. I didn't mean like she was strong physically. I just meant like, boy.
I understand her position. Like, I don't personally have any.
I don't even know her.
I didn't give birth to any children, I'll say that. But I could imagine that as a woman who has children, multiple children by a man, you want more than anything in the world for that situation to work for you and your children. What, babe? What?
Nothing.
No. You have something to say.
A later episode.
Yeah, that is a later episode.
A later episode.
Because sometimes you do have to let go. But we'll get to that in a later episode. But anyways, he posted that. Was it on Twitter or was it on Instagram?
I don't follow. Well, I do follow Fab, but I don't follow him to look at his pictures like that.
I feel like it was on Instagram where he said something along the lines of, basically marriage is the way to go now. All that playing around, it's played out. I can't find the post right now. Next time I'll be better prepared.
Yeah, we'll let that one go.
But first of all, I love Fabulous. This is one of my favorite artists. But I think that post from Matilda was a great example of our shift in culture from being playing around and not being really committed.
Because Fab said something, boy, y'all wow.
I said an example, Alan. An example. There's many examples, but there's one that we can all identify because he is famous. Not because he said something, but because he is famous. It's an example that we can all identify with as a shift in our culture from, again, having a main chick and a side chick and chick B, C, and D versus having a wife and actually valuing that relationship.
You're only supposed to have chick A and one. A1.
Alan, what?
I made
chick
that up.
A1?
Chick A. You're supposed to have an A chick and a one chick. A1.
What?
I made that up. I don't know. I was just trying to make something work. I'm just talking right now.
Okay. I just want to make sure, as long as we're clear that you're literally just running your mouth.
I think that number one for me.
Let's get back to the Russell Wilson thing.
That's what I'm going to.
Okay, good. Because I got off topic.
Number one, that's the man's wife. Sierra is his wife. That's
but
his
we have
wife.
to also put these into perspective. People don't value marriage in the same ways that I feel like we used to.
Even if you don't value marriage, value people, right? I mean, because everybody as an individual wants to be valued. There's no person that's ever going to tell you they don't want to be valued. Nobody. I can guarantee you nobody's going to say, oh, I don't want to be valued. Value people. Even if you don't value marriage, and the paperwork that comes with it, all that, like, value people, right? And that's that man's wife. I'm not telling you got to respect that or nothing. I'm just simply saying that's his wife. Number two, half y'all dudes that's out here talking about all dude lame. Now, you know, he used to dress a little country and all that. We know that. We saw the old Russell pictures. And yo, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Shout out to Sierra, bro, because she gets her dudes right fashion wise. I don't know what she be saying to them or doing, but Future was not rocking the hats, the little Brixton hats and the skinny jeans and all that before Sierra, bro. Go back and look. You'll see Future Hendrix, Sierra birthed that man, bro. Y'all can disagree with me if y'all want to. Future Hendrix, bro. Future Hendrix came from his aura at that time. I'm telling you, it outside of the music, this is completely outside of me. The image,
the style.
The image of Future Hendrix came, bruh. He was with her when he did that. Then they broke up. Next album, fire. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was off topic, but Sierra gets her guys together. I don't know what she do or say, but she gets her guys together fashion-wise, right? So, we know Russell used to be a little country, you know, with the Hawaiian shirt and the dad jeans. We know that. You know, most women not gonna look at that. We can be honest. Most women, Tim Duncan had bread. Chicks was not checking for Tim Duncan unless they was not even on the money chase, but unless they kind of was like, I might be able to get them together, but he got some bread though, so I know I can do something, right? Russell's the highest paid person at what he does, all right? Y'all driving an Amazon truck, G. Y'all gotta chill. Leave the man alone, bro. Like, there's nothing wrong with publicly showing admiration, affection, and everything to your wife, your girlfriend, whatever you define your relationship with your person. There's nothing wrong with that. Y'all gotta let that go, bruh. Oh, he kind of lame. I saw a post the other day where Quavo was kissing Sweetie. Cass was like, oh, he getting soft. Cause he kissed his girl? Are y'all for real? Cause he kissed his girl?
That's pretty whack.
He getting soft. Quavo, y'all, that's y'all king. Quavo.
Who's king?
Cats love, these dudes love Quavo. Oh, Quavo, bro, he the leader of the Migos. He's sneaking out the studio doing his own thing. You know? That Quavo's they king, bro. Like,
who's they?
Whoever, them. Whoever I'm talking to. Whoever these rocks hit, that's they king.
Okay.
But y'all gotta let that go, bro. There's nothing wrong with loving your girl, bro. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with showing affection to your girl. There's nothing wrong with being afraid to lose your girl.
I actually think it takes an incredible amount of strength to be that emotionally vulnerable.
It probably does, because now you go into the court of public opinion and, oh, he lame.
But also you're in some ways relinquishing the power that you feel that you have by not being that vulnerable. You're relinquishing that power, not to the person, but to the love that you have for that person. And it takes strength to do that. It takes courage to do that, to put yourself out there on the possibility that your heart could be broken, because these marriages ain't lasting. These relationships ain't lasting. So when you put yourself out there, knowing that, yes, I could get hurt, you're relinquishing whatever power you were trying to hold on to, because there is no power, there is no pride in loving someone.
And that's all a relationship is.
All that goes out the window.
Yeah, I agree. That's all a relationship is. I mean, personal opinion, do I think Russ is a simp? Hell no. Like,
he actually came up.
I think came the hell up.
He came up.
Because he not with his first wife no more.
Not only that, but, you know, I think that to have a situation that you're so proud of, so happy about to share, their situation could actually be horrible behind doors, but
we don't know that.
We don't know that. But from what it seems like externally, it seems like they're very happy. It seems like they're proud of what they have. It seems natural. And that's rare to find. Many of y'all can't find that. So many of us, let me say us, many of us are not able to find that and come across that. So he's very blessed, in my opinion, to have at least what it seems like he has. So shout out to Russell Wilson.
Yeah. And Lori Harvey is next. So Lori Harvey is next. Michael B. Jordan rented out a whole aquarium. Hey, yo.
That's dope, though. That's dope.
Hey,
that's dope.
They said it was a meme that said, in order to find your best mate, you must first go through Future. They said Future's the boss at the end of the video game. Oh, man.
That's funny.
Some chicks was in the comments like, I'm going to find Future. They like, where he at? So if you're going to Atlanta for All-Star Weekend, you better get with Future. Because when you come back, hey, you know.
Oh, my gosh. We could talk about that all day, babe, but I want to talk about some very powerful movies that we've watched in the past couple of weeks. We've been home. It's been cold outside, cold as hell. Like, what do you say? The husk?
The hawk.
Oh, the hawk.
The hawk
is out. That's definitely a St. Louis thing. The hawk.
The hawk. Oh, is that St. Louis? Oh.
I never heard that before.
Do y'all know what the hawk is out means?
I'm not really from anywhere though, so you know.
I'm glad we finally established that. Thank God. Thank God. All right, you all heard it here first, okay? So spoiler alerts.
Absolutely, spoiler alerts. So if you haven't seen Malcolm and Marie or Judas and the Black Messiah,
cut it
now. Come back after you watch these movies, and you should watch these movies.
Yeah. So we watched Malcolm and Marie first.
Yes.
That was the first one. What do you think? What did you think?
You know, honestly, I go back and forth even now about how I felt about the movie. And I think that that's what makes a movie powerful. Is when it's able to, you know, convict you as a person or create emotional turmoil or create conversation. I think that's what makes a movie powerful. And so I'm still not sure how I feel about it totally, but I understand. I don't know what the purpose of the movie was, but now I can appreciate the movie for at least its art, because I think that one thing that I did, from my understanding, it was a plot of an argument of a couple. And for the sake of this conversation, we're going to say a black couple. And I think that as me and Alan were watching this movie, multiple times we were like jokingly saying, oh, that's you. Oh, that's you. That's you.
I'm a dirty fighter, y'all.
Yes. And so I think that I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of couples could see themselves in that couple fighting. And I think it played.
That was the case.
Yeah. And it kind of just like, it was almost like watching yourself argue with your boyfriend and your wife or your husband or whatever. It was almost like watching yourself do that, like, oh, stop here. And there were so many times that I felt like, for me personally, they could have stopped the argument. And
they hella could have stopped that argument.
They could have stopped the argument. But think about yourself in those moments. Think about the arguments that we've had, that we should have, and you have said this before, and I'll acknowledge that right now, that you said, let's just go to bed and try again tomorrow. But I'm so emotional and I'm so heated. I'm like, no, I'm going to say what I got to say.
We talking about this now,
We're going to talk about, we're going to finish this conversation right now, and that doesn't get us anywhere. And that's what happened in that.
Just like when I say, hey, let's just go to bed. And
I just acknowledge that she said that.
I know that, but I'm just like, because I already know it's not going to go nowhere. It ain't going to go nowhere the next day, but at least we got a whole day to sort through it.
But sometimes, though, you say that one thing that I have to respond to. At least I feel like that in that moment. And that's an opportunity for me to work on. But I feel like, no. You're not finna just say that and we finna go to sleep. And you finna sleep peacefully.
You damn right.
No. You finna toss and
like
turn.
Like a baby.
No, you're about to toss and turn like I'm tossing and turning. That nigga didn't just say that shit and think we finna go to sleep and he finna really be under these covers warm and snuggled in.
And dreaming.
No, you might dream, but they gonna be nightmares.
Shout out to Meek Mill.
So I can understand how the argument escalated and hurtful things continue to be said in their relationship. So in that particular fight.
This was the perfect tweet that I saw. A guy said, Malcolm and Marie is literally about A woman being upset that she didn't get more recognition than the most important night of her man's life. And I said, that's the one!
That's not the one.
That's
not the one. Because, Alan, we talked about this.
Yes, we did.
We're assuming that everyone has seen the movie at this point, so we're not going to even do like
spoiler alerts.
We're not even going to do a plot or a summary. But I can't remember how long they were together. I don't think they specifically said. However, regardless if the movie was about her or not, because that was still kind of up for debate, because we know in arguments everything is from one person's perspective. So from her perspective, the movie was about her, and from his perspective, which he could have lied to make a point in that moment, the movie was about multiple women that inspired him, that he kind of...
I actually believe that.
Of course you do. Of course, and like every other man, you believe that the movie was inspired by multiple women. And every woman believes that the movie was about her.
I'm a 30-some-year-old grown man. Why, in all my years, would I not take different experiences and put them... This is all speculation, but why would I not take all my experiences and put them here? And you just assume that, oh, I met you one day and you're just my muse, so I'm going to make this movie about you.
I'm not saying that that's the specific situation that he was in, but from the argument, which again, it's an argument, so it's almost like you can only take the things that they said with grains of salt, because when you're in an argument with somebody, a lot of what you're saying, you're trying to make a point. There's a little bit of an exaggeration on top of what you're saying. It's all from your perspective. You're not really in a rational state of mind. So knowing that and taking what they said with a grain of salt, it sounded like the movie very closely mirrored her life. And so that's why she probably didn't say like, oh, you met me and I'm your muse, but more so like, hey, that movie looked a lot like my life. Maybe I inspired this movie.
Maybe. I mean, that's very possible. But fellas, I'm going to give you some advice. Thank your girl for everything from here on out, okay? If your girl pick up a damn broom and sweep up a moth or a little dust ball, say thank you, bruh. Just thank when you have your moment, thank your girl, thank Jesus, then your mama, okay? Then whoever else after that. Thank your girl first, though. Before God, thank your girl, okay?
That's the wrong logic. That's the wrong logic.
My man would have slept well that night. If he would have just did that, my man would have slept well.
That's the wrong logic.
And she made him that whack ass mac and cheese, bro. I was so disappointed.
And then everyone thought that, and then you want to talk about it, and everyone thought you were talking about my mac and cheese.
Marie. This is Maria. That was Marie.
And to be honest with you, though, everybody, especially when I was younger, called me Marie. Like, there was no A at the end of my name.
People still call you Marie.
People do still call me Marie. And
yeah, how Marie doing, Alan? Who? Oh, Maria. Okay.
Anyways, I think that's the wrong logic. I don't think that you should thank your girl to spare the argument. I think you should thank your girl because you are genuinely grateful to have that person as a partner to support you in whatever ways they support you, because let's be honest, us women, we be supporting y'all.
Y'all do. I'm gonna let you know what, I'm gonna focus on what you just said, and I'm gonna say yes, black women do support black men most of the time.
Okay, and so what examples do we not support you? Because what's this most of the time? What's that about?
An example when black men are supported. I think that not all instances, but I think in some instances, and this is going to go into something completely different. So I want to just say this and kind of just put a stake in it. I want you to respond, of course, but I think that there are some instances where, black men and women are just on different ends of the spectrum, right? And we don't understand your struggles. You all don't understand ours. And I think that when our struggles hit us and we don't find understanding and comfort in you all, I feel that you all have failed us, for lack of better choice of words. I don't mean that in a literal sense, but I think we feel that you all have failed us in those moments, because not only are we dealing with this space of the world and society in America, right, as black men. But now we have to go through certain trials, tribulations, and turmoils with you all.
Can we put a pause on that? I have to go to the bathroom. We're back.
Are you back? Okay. I think we left off on me saying, in those moments we feel failed, and failed was not the proper word choice in that moment, but I just think as black men we feel failed in that moment. So I think that that Malcolm just wanted to feel supported and be understood that he made an honest mistake. I don't think there was any malice in his failure or omission of Marie. Personally, it's my personal opinion.
I don't think there was any malice in it, but from a woman's perspective, he did what was at the forefront of his mind. He did.
And that wasn't me.
Basically, he did what was in his heart. And that's what hurts from a woman's perspective, is that, damn, this is the biggest night of his life, and I've been there from day one supporting him to get him to this point. And in this moment, the natural thing for him to do is to thank all these people who he comes home to me and complains about.
I get it.
And that's like, ouch. It stings.
And maybe
why am I taken for granted?
And maybe, because when we think about it, right, I had to have people invest in me to put this movie together. I had to have a camera crew, producers, staff. Like, that's when we're looking at it from strictly a logistical standpoint. Like, this wouldn't even be possible if it weren't for the man right there holding the camera. And this man, they gave me $500,000 to put this together. You know what I'm saying? And it may have been a moment of her being taken for granted, right? Because you said, like, oh, well, he come home and complain. Yeah, I'm going through it, right? Like, I'm going through it. What Rick Ross say, like, R.I.P. Kobe Bryant, but he told, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. And valid, yes, no, maybe, right? Like, would Michael Jordan be who he was without his wife? Like, she stayed home and took care of the kids. Would he be who he was? Would he be Air Jordan?
Just to be devil's advocate, he wouldn't have the kids if he didn't marry her. So.
Oh, he would have had some kids.
True.
Michael Jordan has that boy was in his. They talking about Wilt Chamberlain, man. Michael Jordan, bro, probably. He had a wife though, but he probably still was beasting. I can only
beasting. That's the term. That's the way we want to describe it, is beasting.
Yeah, how should you describe it?
Playing around.
I mean, that's kind of known though, right? But you still beasting.
So when you say beasting, are you saying as in like, man, he was killing it, or are you saying like
you was out here getting it in?
Getting it in a good way, or getting it in like you doing a lot?
You was with the ladies. You was getting it in. You was out here beasting.
You was in a good way, like as almost giving him like a pat on the back.
I'm not saying it one way or the other. I'm just simply saying he probably was out here beasting. Like, I'm in 60 cities a year.
So, but I'm trying to understand how
you're thinking too deep already. Stop. Don't think. Just don't think. No disrespect. Don't think, dog. I'm trying to figure this out. Is this good or bad? Are you giving him a pat on the back for cheating on his wife, or are you? No, bro. I'm simply saying, dude was at the height, at the pinnacle of his career in life, and I'm traveling from city to city, 8-9 months out the year, bro. Like, dog.
Okay, that's irrelevant.
That's irrelevant. But would he be who he was? Like, would LeBron be who he was or is?
No.
Without his wife? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. We don't know, but I can tell you this, and one of my mentors and friends told me this a long time ago, and I don't think I understood it for a while. But outside of money and everything else that is tangible that you can invest, Your biggest investment will be in the woman you choose to spend your life with.
Oh my God, who was that?
Take a guess. I want you to guess.
Who did you say it was?
Just take a guess. Which one of my people do you think would tell me that?
Was it older than you? Was he older than you?
A little bit. You can't put it together? That must mean I got some good dudes around me.
No.
Oh, well, if you can't figure it out, then hey.
No, I'm just thinking of a lot of different people that could have said that.
And mentor.
Friend and mentor.
Friend and mentor.
Also, there's always people that like, I'd be like, oh, I didn't know you were that cool with him.
I see this person all the time.
You do?
Yeah, I see this person all the time.
Like on a weekly basis?
Yeah, on a weekly basis.
On a weekly basis?
Yeah.
I know who it is.
Okay.
I know who it is. Yeah. App?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And he's totally right. Look at his wife. Now I'm not going to say nothing else.
Leave it alone. Yeah, there we go.
But look at his wife and then compare that. And that's it.
I mean, so, anything else is for fun. Whether you're Michael Jordan or LeBron, like anything else is for fun, right? Because you have a woman of quality, quote unquote. And all that's subjective too, right? Because it depends on who you are and where you're coming from. But friend told me that, like, outside of everything tangible that you can invest and put your energy and effort into, the biggest thing will be the woman that you invest in.
Because that woman, she's going to put extra vegetables in your breakfast, in your lunch, in your dinner, sprinkle a bit of vitamins in your smoothies in the morning. What?
I'm not gonna do this with you, man. Speaking of good women, let's shift gears because
let's talk about Judas and the
Judas
Black
had
Messiah.
a good woman, right? No, he wasn't Judas, but
the Black Messiah.
The Black Messiah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
Mr.
movie
O'Neill, Chairman O'Neill.
The movie was so powerful. It really touched me. And honestly, I don't even think that I absorbed the full meaning of the movie until after the movie and we watched the interviews.
Yeah.
That movie was so powerful. We had to watch the interviews of the actors and the director to get to grasp the full meaning and the purpose of that movie.
Then we went back and watched the interview of the informant.
To get to grasp the full meaning and the purpose of that movie.
Then we went back and watched the interview of the informant.
Yes. William O'Neill.
And William O'Neill, I called him O'Neill. I called him Chairman. He was not the chairman.
Fred Hampton.
Fred Hampton was, yeah. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Forgive him. But, so we're going to assume that everyone has seen the movie.
Spoiler alert.
Knows the plot, knows the summary. Let's jump right in. William O'Neill, the informant, he basically set Fred Hampton up unwillingly or unknowingly, I'll say, unknowingly to be killed. Assassinated by the
Chicago
FBI.
PD and FBI.
Yes, which is disgusting. I'm literally disgusted. And to be honest, so side note, babe, I have a confession to make.
What?
As you're watching the movie, I was reading the story on Wikipedia, so I already knew he was going to die.
I mean, if you know the outcome, you know what was going to happen.
Yeah, but like I already knew how it was going to happen.
Oh, okay.
So when he told him where he was and stuff like that, and put the sedative in his drink, I already knew like what.
Well, I didn't know all that. I was only semi-familiar with Fred Hampton, and that's crazy because he was a lot closer, right, to St. Louis geographically than Huey P. Newton and a couple of the other chairmen. But like Huey P. Newton, I knew his story for years, right? Like my dad used to make me study Huey P. Newton, but I never really got deep into the organization outside of California and what Huey P. Newton started, right? So it's kind of crazy to know that they had these widespread chapters and they were so organized, and that the FBI
discipline.
Literally said that the Black Panther Party was the biggest threat to national security. That's how bad, even today, that's how bad they don't want us to succeed, y'all.
Absolutely. And you know what's crazy?
That's insane.
You know what's crazy? after, and this is kind of a little bit off topic, after that movie, because I think we watched that movie, it was on YouTube. We watched the interview.
HBO Max or YouTube or something?
No. We watched the interview of William O'Neill.
Yeah.
We watched that on YouTube. So, YouTube, they automatically play related videos. So, when you had fell asleep, I was still working on a project for work. And so the next video played was a video about white supremacy and white supremacists. Actually, their movement that has been taking place since the Obama presidency. That movie gave me it was a documentary. It gave me nightmares.
We gotta find it again.
Yeah, you should watch it. It gave me nightmares just to watch, to learn about white supremacists and the underground movement that's taking place. They've been organizing since Obama was in office. Obama being in office for them was like the biggest slap in the face that we could have ever given them. And all of the Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, so he was while he was not a part of like an organized movement, he was a believer. I forgot the guy's name, but he was a believer in this one of the white supremacists who wrote a book. He talked about that book really inspiring him, and that book was about white supremacy. And then you have multiple people who were kind of born out of this ideology of white supremacy and using violence to protect white supremacy.
Well, they're being raised on it, so
being
nobody's born and they're like,
it.
I don't like that black guy over there. Like, you're taught to hate black people, gay people, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
That list goes on, right? I'm not gonna get specific, but you're taught that.
And I wasn't prepared to talk about that documentary today, so I'm sorry if I don't know all the names.
I will watch that, and then we need to, if you haven't, you need to watch Amend on Netflix, the Will Smith perspective on the 14th Amendment.
Yeah. So sorry if I don't know the names of all the people that were in the documentary, but I brought that up because you brought up the FBI infiltrating the Black Panther movement and the Black Panther Party, and that just made me think about
Malcolm X now.
Well, I mean, kind of, but like the white supremacist movement that has been taking place even to this day. But yeah, so they infiltrated the party and they used William O'Neill. And like I said, I didn't have a complete and full opinion on the movie until, and not the movie, the story, until after we watched the interviews. Because in the interviews, I learned, I'll be honest, I watched this movie not knowing what the story was about, and honestly, shamefully, not knowing the story outside of that movie. So shout out to everyone that is putting all of the unsung heroes on a pedestal and sharing their stories, like Hidden Figures and Judas and the Black Messiah. I mean, we really need to learn our history. But I said all that to say that I learned that Fred Hampton was only 21.
Young brother.
Super young.
21. What was I doing at 21?
I
wasn't leading
definitely
no group
wasn't
of people,
leading the
right?
Black Panther movement. So, and William O'Neill was only 18 or 19.
He was 17 when he got caught by the police, and then the feds recruited him. So it took them 2 years between the time that he got caught and Fred Hampton's assassination. So he was, it would have been 19, 20.
And that, to me, changed my whole perspective. Because as I was watching the movie, I was kind of assuming that this was a grown man, a fully adult, mature man. And I was thinking, like, wow, like, he really did this, man. Like, that's crazy. But learning that he was a child, because let's be honest, we're still growing up. What did you tell me? 30, 31, 32?
I think I had my awakening 33, 34.
So if we're talking about a child here, he was basically seduced by the FBI and the Chicago Police Department to betray his own people, and he probably didn't even fully understand the movement at that young age. And so to me, while watching the movie, I was blaming him and looking at him in disgust. after understanding how young he was, my blame shifted back to the system. And also back to us as a Black community. We have to grab our young men and women and protect them and teach them so that way they can't be seduced and infiltrated in the way that he was. You know?
Yeah, and easier said than done, right? You spent most of your life in Chicago, right?
Easier said than done.
So
we're not saying that's an easy task at all.
Yeah, they didn't go deep into William O'Neal's background, where he came from, family, stuff like that. But you know, Chicago, growing up, like that's a rough place, depending on where you are. And I don't know, like it's the system is definitely to blame, right? But then to, like you said, to know that they were going after kids, a 21-year-old Fred Hampton, it's like, come on.
He was your biggest threat? A 21-year-old?
A 21-year-old.
I mean, shout out to him and a full respect for his legacy, but that's who y'all, what does that say about you as men and the power that you really don't have?
Well, something was important that was said, and I don't know if this was scripted or if this was, conversations that really happened, but when he asked the FBI guy, like, what are you going to do when your daughter brings home a Negro?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
that was a whole conversation.
Like, that's real.
And the director, I feel like, made it a point to...
What was his name? Tom something.
The director?
Yeah, the FBI.
No, the FBI
Hoover
guy?
was the director of the FBI.
No, the director of the movie is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
He obviously made it a point to highlight that conversation, because there's many conversations that he could have showcased, but he showcased that conversation about what are you going to do when your daughter brings home he called him a
Negro.
A Negro?
Yep.
Like
he didn't say that really in the office though.
Right.
You gonna do when your daughter bring home a nigger?
Nigger. Not nigger.
ER.
So he made it a point to showcase that part of the conversation, because that probably is a fear that they have.
It's definitely real, right? And I'm great at
having Black grandkids.
I mean, but even outside of that, right? Like, I think that let me just put a disclaimer in here. I don't care who you love or like, but most cultures are set up to win for future generations. That's why Arabs typically marry Arabs, and Turkish, and you can go on and on and on and on, right? America is a melting pot. Europe's starting to become a melting pot even more so these days, because there's a lot of Africans in Europe, right? Because it's right across the peninsula. But looking at the history, right? Brother once told me, why would a white man allow you to sit at his dinner table with his daughter? Asked me that one day. I don't know. I don't date white girls. What? Because you have something to offer his family in the future. And that really sat with me, and it made me look at things very differently, because unless you have something to offer them to advance their cause, and I use the term cause loosely, only thing you're going to be doing else is just dropping kids off in my daughter.
Exactly, because to be honest, like, they're probably, and I'm sure once maybe you and I are older and we have children, we're probably not going to be thinking about the immediate generation. We're not going to be thinking about our children and their marriage. We're going to be thinking about our grandchildren and what they're going to do. So if you're automatically thinking about the next generation, you're going to be thinking about what this current generation is going to do for the next generation. So you want to bring this man into your life and y'all want to have some kids. What is he going to do to raise the grandkids that I'd love to see carry on my legacy? That's their thought process, I'd imagine.
Yeah. We can go on about that all day, but I mean, just in general, that movie was really powerful. I've only seen 2 reviews, and they weren't really reviews, but Facebook, Twitter reviews that people were like, "Oh my God, it was trash," and they got drugged. And not to say you can't. It was trash. So one girl said that, "I can't believe y'all like that movie. It's a movie about a snitch and blah, blah, blah." And
what?
But I forgot niggas love snitches. Yeah, she got drugged. Then
that movie was about a historical event. It's not about
you focused on the wrong stuff here, because we're not even really worried about her. And like I said, she got drugged in the comments. Then I saw another one that it wasn't really a bad review, but a sister said that she wished they would have focused more on just Fred Hampton as opposed to
the snitch. And that's actually an interesting point, because we watched the interview of
William O'Neill.
No, not him. The director, Shaka, and the...
we ain't got no names for y'all. We all bad.
And then the guy who played Fred Hampton, what's his name? Daniel? Is it Daniel or David?
Daniel? David Kalubay.
Is it David? Hold on, let's get it right.
David.
Let's get it right.
He was in Black Panther too. We doing them all a disservice.
We really
sorry,
are.
y'all.
We just, I mean, and you know me, I hate to be unprepared. But you know what? It's the liquor. It's the liquor for sure. The liquor has me feeling this way. Daniel Kaluuya.
Okay.
So, I think it was Daniel Kaluuya who said, they asked him in an interview, you know, I think Charlemagne, of course, Charlemagne. I love Charlemagne from the Breakfast Club, by the way. But anyways, he asked him, you know, how do you feel about Keith Stanfield and him playing this character? Because he played it so well.
He played the hell out of that part.
He played the hell out of that part. So, how do you look at him differently? And Daniel Kaluuya brought up a really great point, and he said, basically, no, because one, he did an amazing job, and actually Keith Stanfield said that he needed therapy after that movie, and so one, he did an amazing job, and two, we needed the story of William O'Neill to be able to really show you the power that Fred Hampton had. We needed both of those stories to be able to highlight him. I agree.
There needed to be a two. I forgot what it's exactly called, but from two perspectives with kind of two main characters. Quote
like
unquote.
we needed him, because we could have just talked about Fred Hampton and how the Black Panther was following him, and you know, him as a leader and being a great leader, but also showing the other side of how much of a threat he was to an organization that had been in existence for years at this point. 200 years. This 20-year-old young man, just to show how much of a threat he was and how invested, all the way up to the director of the FBI. That, I think, Mr. it really Hoover shows the power that he had truly had, beyond what, showing both of those stories, I think, like he said, really helped demonstrate how much power he had gained as the deputy of that chapter. So I hear her on that. It definitely could have been more about Fred Hampton, but I think there was a purpose for demonstrating or showcasing both sides of the coin in that case.
A quick sidebar, trip off of, I think the Panthers were disbanded in the mid to late 70s as a whole, for the most part. Not a whole, but their movement was pretty much disbanded. You got the crack era and everything that started coming in after that. And, you know, it's just crazy. I mean, it just, if you never believe that things happen by design, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, man, there's a chronological order of things dealing with black people. And I use that word very, very, very forcibly, because I'm tired of saying people of color and black people.
Niggas.
There's a very, very, very chronological timeline of black people that if you just go back and follow things, you'll be like, man, like this
was all by design.
They don't want us to win.
It was with intention.
They don't want us to win. They don't. And you know, I'm not here to point fingers, and I'm going kind of off the movie at this point, but we got to do something. Yeah. We got to do something. All in all, I love the movie.
I did too.
I loved it.
I liked Malcolm and Marie. Would I watch it again? Probably not.
I'm not watching it again. That was too stressful, bro. I had a headache when that movie was over. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I probably wouldn't watch it again, but it was a good movie, though.
It was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
I'm still a little conflicted about it. Judas and the Messiah was incredibly powerful.
Black Messiah.
Oh, Judas and the Black Messiah was so powerful. I would absolutely watch it again, and I would absolutely watch it with... It's one of those movies that you need to watch with your children.
Watch it with... My son fell asleep on it, y'all. We tried. he made it through about 45 minutes, and he was lights out.
Yeah.
He was lights out, so...
And I enjoyed watching both of those movies with you, babe. Because this is Words with Bae.
This is Words with Bae.
Movies with Bae.
Y'all got a long episode today.
A long episode. And actually, Judas and the Black Messiah was from Deborah's point of view. That's what the director said.
Okay.
Which is really interesting. Because I really...
And she's still alive, right? She was on one of the interviews we watched. Yeah.
And I really felt her pain when, one, at least in the movie, I don't know if it happened in real life, they put the gun to her pregnant belly. Man, that like...
She said that happened in an interview. She said that
really happened?
She said that because she said she kept her... When they called her out of the room with Fred, she said she kept her hands up and she was trying not to make any sudden movements. Mm-hmm. And she said they pulled her out and they put the gun to her like that.
Oh my gosh.
She said that. So I think everything that happened in that scene was from her perspective because she accurately described it.
That moment literally made me cry. And on top of that happening, for her to hear them talk about them killing, I'd imagine she wanted to marry him, but we don't know. From hearing them killing the husband or the father of her soon to be born son.
He was born less than a month later.
Yeah, was incredibly painful. I can't imagine what she went through. And as a woman, and I don't have any children by Alan, but I love Alan. So if I heard somebody killing him, man, I would never be the same. So the liquor is bringing me to tears almost.
Authentic moment, y'all.
Very authentic moment.
She cry all the time.
I don't cry all the time. That's a stretch.
She cry all the time.
Anyways, it's been fun with you guys. Really with you, because we're not really with them. But it's been fun with you.
Well, let's get out of here and let these people go. Y'all got a good dose of us today.
I'm going to go shopping, so let's get to the mall.
Hey, I'm going to put my Cash App up, y'all. Put my Cash App up. So,
no. Let me put my Cash App up.
I wish you would, boy.
All right, let's go. I finished my drink. Let's go.
All right. Hey, yo, we signing out. Words with Bae. Hit us up. Instagram, words.with.bae. Or you can hit us up at wordswithbae@gmail.com. Let us know your opinions. If anything we said today touched you. Whatever.
Or if you want to be a guest couple.
If you want to be a guest, you and your bae, or if you ain't got no bae, if you want to talk to us about, I want to talk to somebody that had a failed relationship. I really do.
What went wrong?
What would
you have done differently?
I want to know. Know. And failed is a poor choice of words. I keep saying failed. But if your relationship just didn't work out, I want to talk to you. Like, really, hit us up. Let us know what's going on. If you can get your old bae on, we might do that. Remember we talked about getting an old bae?